Welcome to Kansas. I missed the sign. I was eating some yummy 5-ingredient peanut butter cookies, not paying attention. But now we're in Kansas. That looks like Nebraska, doesn't it?
Well, fellow campers, this is Gary once again, your roving campground reporter, Rough Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom, and freedom has brought us to Farnum Creek, Corps of Engineer Park, Kansas, just a little bit outside of Junction City. And that would be the dump station right there. It's got a freshwater fill, even though you have water at your campsite. And that would be the road to Camp Area C. And right there's the check-in station as you come down that road there. And down that road a little bit is a boat ramp, which we're going to go show you. But Campground C would be down this road. But as you can see, it's closed. They have campgrounds Area A, B, and C, but only A is open. So let's walk down this road here and I'll show you why Camp Area C is closed. Yeah, we're walking down the road here to Campground Area C, and as you can see, this access road, it hadn't been used for a while. In fact, it's been closed since the park opened back in March. This is the middle of September. We're going to walk down here to where the campground would be, and I'll show you what's going on. So we've walked down the access road to Area C, and there's the water. The reason the campground is closed is because there is no campground left. It's all underwater. This would have been the road, the loop road, going out to your campsites, which would have been out there probably under these trees. Here. There's a fire ring underwater. The water went all the way up there. This loop road, as you can see, is just gone. And out there, you can see there's a vault toilet. That would have been from the boat ramp, which is over there, which is gone. And at the high peak of the flood water, that vault toilet out there was completely underwater. The host told me that this was 38 feet above normal. The Missouri River was so flooded that the Corps couldn't open the locks to let water out of this lake to help the flooding here, because the Missouri, there was no place to put it because the Missouri was already at peak level. But this is what would have been Campground C. And this has been like this since March. Well, this would be the only bathhouse for the park, right here. It's not that far a walk from Campground A, just a quarter mile or so, maybe a quarter mile. It's a simple shower, sink, toilet, one person at a time. There's actually 4 baths in this one house, this one building here, but since there's only one campground open, they only keep 2 of them open. The other 2 stay locked. But they're clean, good water pressure, and the water is hot. Even if it's on a push button timer, still works well. But we haven't had any issue with only being 2 of being crowded or anything like that. Most of the time it's just like this, empty. But that would be the bathhouse for the park. And right down that road, Campground A. Now, this is a picture of Loop A, actually the only loop that's open in the campground. There we are right there. And this is a picture of the loop. The playground. There's no bathroom facility on site here. There's one down the road. This is the current loop that's open. There's the water, the lake. It's just one loop with a few pull-throughs in the middle. This would have been Campground B, and it's been closed since spring. This is the middle of September from the spring floods, and it's still closed. This right here would have been the access road to the campgrounds coming in off the main road. And as you can see, it's washout. And then the road, which would normally go out there to those campsites, which would be under those trees, well, they're gone. They're covered with water. This would be the loop that you would have driven around to go to those campsites that are under those trees. You see the fire ring and the stakes, campsite markers, and they're all underwater still. Of course, the loop going that way, it's all washed out and gone. So we're not sure when this area here will be reopened, but all the tables have been moved up out of the water to the top. This is just another shot of the other part of the loop at Campground B. Just show you the road that's washed out. That would have been the access road, the loop road around the campground. And you can see the fire ring out there in the water. Camp site markers. Washed out road back to the guardhouse. Well, this is the road that comes to the boat ramp. Where might the boat ramp be? Well, let's turn around. Well, you can't get to it. The road is underwater, and you can see the floating dock is just beached from the high water. And out there you can see what's the toilet, vault toilet out there. And at one point was underwater. So this would have been the boat ramp. They're going to have to do a little bit of repair work to fix this. For you fishing guys, look at the bait fish. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let me see if I can zoom in. The schools of bait fish there. There's another school of them there breaking the water.
South outlet of Milford Lake here in Kansas. Look at that pretty bird flying. Very peaceful out here. This is East Rolling Hills day use area. There is a swim beach here and pavilions and a boat ramp. I'm not sure what all's open because it is still in a flood situation. In fact, this road was closed. We just came down here to peek around. And the dam is over there. Looks like a ranger station there. But we're gonna go back that way. But you can see the water was all the way up here. I'll show you the bathroom over here in just a minute. So it just came from that area. You can see the water's gone down pretty good bit, but you can also see where it was. And that vault toilet right there looks like it was probably underwater like the one at our park. So really, water really did a number on this park. This is North Overlook Park. It is another day use area. Really pretty, and the drive along the dike there, I guess, just over the the damage straight ahead is just beautiful.
Freedom has brought us on a little excursion here in the city of Milford, Kansas, or close to the place of Milford, Kansas. It's not far from Junction City, to this wonderful place here called Milford Hatchery and Nature Center. And we've been here for about 2 hours, maybe, touring this facility.
Yes.
And they have displays across here with the animal cages of bald eagles, golden eagles, bobcats.
Right, you can see live animals.
Well, first of all, over there is the butterfly house.
Whoops, maybe.
That's the butterfly house. We walked through that, and there's lots of butterflies in there, which that's kind of cool. You got to open the door and shut it quick because you don't want the butterflies to get out. And then you go in this building, and that's the nature center. And inside there they got displays of live prairie dogs, reptiles, snakes,
Black-footed ferret,
black-footed ferrets.
but he was hiding.
Right.
Snakes, lizards.
Lizards, all kind of different animals in there. And then they also have some glass display exhibits. They're very large. One of marine life and how it would be if it was an actual lake where the fish are at. It's a large exhibit. And then you go around and there's another exhibit of a forest and how the animals would be in that forest. And then you can walk on out and you can go on out to the fish hatcheries itself, and they have the raceways out there which have the fish in them. And they also have a nice little 3/4 mile nature loop that we walked around that with some little signage around showing the different things and what it would be and all that.
Okay, on this little nature trail goes by a nice little creek, but we heard something over here. It's a big fish. Okay, walking along this path, there's little informational signs, but this one I thought was really cool, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. But horsetail. So all these little green plants here that look like bamboo are called horsetail. They're straight groove stems. They're called horsetails because their roots look like a horse's tail. The gathering pond. Here's more of those red plants. They look kind of velvety. I don't know what they are, but it looks like they've already had their leaves go brown. But they're all out here. So my question is, what the heck is that? What are these plants? Found here in Kansas, but I've seen them in Nebraska too. So there's some beehives here and some informational signs. Oh, and beehives over here, along with some informational signs about bees.
Every third bite of food you take comes from the pollination of something by a bee.
Wow.
There you go.
But the one that got me was one worker produces about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime.
This is one that got me.
The queen mother is the queen is the most important bee and the mother of the hive. She is limited to producing eggs up to 2,000 a day and controls the sex of each egg.
Yeah, wow.
Other females, the worker bees, are assigned jobs based on their age. Then there's drones. The waggle dance. Oh, and then the honeybee dance was noted by Aristotle as early as 330 BC.
So overall, it was a very nice, very nicely done, nicely displayed, and I thoroughly enjoyed this day and these few hours we were here.
Right, nice little field trip.
Right off to my left, there's a wonderful playground for kids.
Right, if you have
Go ahead.
kids, it's a really nice place to bring your kids and play. There's all kinds of interesting things, including a maze and a giant bird nest.
And a spider-looking thing.
Yeah, which we don't know what it does.
It's
but
not your typical swing set slide type of playground. There's all kind of
very organic.
very organic and very
Yeah.
cool little
Yeah.
playthings over there.
Yeah. All right, so we liked our little field trip today, and we're going to head on out and go see what else we can get into.
And it's not far from our campground. It would take us about 15 minutes to get
Well,
Yeah, well,
I
we got turned around. Actually, this is not our first destination, but it turned out to be a good one.
This is usually what happens.
Yeah.
We set out somewhere and we start exploring and we find something. So this wasn't what we set out to do,
No,
but hey,
we were going to the Calvary exhibit and wound up here. Well, we found the dam on the way.
no complaints. So this is Milford Dam. It's much smaller than the past few dams that we visited, mainly for flood control. And what was explained to us is that if the Missouri River starts getting high, then they can't release as much water, which is what sometimes leads to flooding in this area. It's kind of a backup situation. If they release more water, there's going to be more flooding downstream. So even though this is a Republican river in Milford Lake, it still affects the Missouri River. We're here at the Republican River Spillway in Kansas. Just fishing going on here.
Yeah, we've seen a guy just walk away with some nice looking catfish.
Yep. I know you're itching to fish, right?
No.
But look at this water coming out here. Yeah, I don't really want to hang my phone over that. So this is the thing now. Our pups can't play in the water because I don't want to even run into any blue-green algae blooms. When in doubt, it's best to keep out. So that's what I'll do. Harms people too.
So here I am back at home base, and this is Site 37, and to me it's one of the less desirable sites I've ever been on. It's horribly unlevel. The fire ring used to be there, and there, and there, and right there's my neighbor would be. So you can see there's just not a lot of wiggle room here for us. And then we got this little washout going here that makes it very uneven and unlevel to even walk on. And as you go to the back, well, you got the woods back there. We actually saw a bobcat back there this morning. That's a little drop off. There's the back side. There's our neighbor over there. You have 30 amp service here. You do have water on site. No sewer on site. They have a dump station. And they also have a freshwater fill at the dump station. And a little bit closer look at this loop here. It's the only loop that's open. Pull-throughs. Our Verizon service here has been pretty good. Sometimes it's a little slow, but we've really had no issues with connections. There's not really a whole lot to do at this camp unless you like to fish in the lake. The kids, they do have the playground there. You can ride your bike on the roads here. It's not a whole lot of miles to ride your bike on. I guess you could kayak or canoe. And people were boating out there. Junction City is probably 10-12 miles from here. It's a major town with Walmart and different stores in that town. It's Site 38 right here. There's probably some nicer sites over there. So this is going to wrap this little review up here. I don't know, 3-star campground. Leveling is not that easy. So you just look at that fifth wheel over there, it's kind of tilted. He did the best he could. You do have the lake, 30 amp service, water at site, Verizon service good, playground for kids. Only Site A is open. B and C are closed. There is a boat ramp available, but the main boat ramp is also closed. So that's it. Tomorrow's move day for us. Another couple hundred miles down the road. So, you know, click, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Keep you notified on what we're doing and where we're going and what we're seeing. So until later, or next time, this is Gary with Rough Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom. And we hope to see you on the road. Travel safe.